the Teachers. Thank you for putting the recording on. Fourth Meet the Teachers presentation for our 2026 faculty. Tonight we have Cindy Lohbeck, Gwen Hanvy, and Ilene Bartos. Just a few quick notes on the meeting format. We will let each teacher speak and then open it up for questions after each teacher has completed. If you want to add your questions to the chat, we'll make sure and read those out when question time comes, but if everyone could mute themselves while the presentations are going on, that would be perfect, just so there's no background noise. Thanks very much, and oh gosh, I think it's Cindy who's starting, so we'll just let her go first.
Well, hello from Arizona. It's nice and warm here. Sorry, guys. The rest of the world's a little chilly, the rest of the country. But I am Cindy Lohbeck. My company is Die Hard Studio. I am so excited to come to the Minnesota Quilt Show. It has been, I think, 2017 since I taught for y'all. And I'm very excited. I've got 4 classes. I will be at the Paramount. And so I want to make sure you all know where to go for those classes. On the 11th, one of my most popular classes is Rat Ombres. And we will be doing half-yard cuts of gorgeous ombre fabric. And when you put the bottom to the top, you can see that's pretty drastic, but the way we do it is very subtle. Here's another colorway.
Yeah, beautiful.
So this is a fun technique. It's very creative, very very much going to build your stash. I bring you at least 6 pieces of fabric. If you can dye more, I'm going to give you more because I want you to come out of there with a full stash of not only light to dark ombres, but we're also going to do color to color merge, which is fun and experimenting. So that will be the whole first day, and you will love it. The second day, we're going to do a newish class called Charmed. And I will run into a lot of you girls that I taught in 2017, and you will say, I'm still petting my fabric. I know you. So what we're going to do is do a charm pack so that you can already have cut fabric. This is a great little class. We're going to use some highly sustainable corn dextrin and potato dextrin as our resist. Everybody gets a fun pack of little dot stencils. You're going to work on these odd little duck-sized pieces of fabric. And what you will end up with is 2 5x5 charms. One is going to be a print with the resist pattern, and then you'll also get a solidish that you will paint to match each print. So this is really fun. It's really productive. Little screen printing, a little color mixing. We're going to mix 24 different colors to dye our 24 different charms. And so we will have a full 24-step color wheel that we're going to mix out of 3 packets of dye. I am bringing the color to Minnesota, and we are going to do some dye painting with this. So we're going to learn some neat new artistic dyeing techniques. I did get to do Quilting Arts TV and also Quilting Arts Magazine with the dextrin technique. So I want to make sure that you get to try it out. It's a very popular class. And that will be on the 12th. It's a full day class, nice and relaxed pace. Get our color on. On the 13th, I have two shorter classes, still as colorful and still as fun. The first class is a kind of shibori known as Sekka, Sekka. And Sekka translates to snowflower. It's a subcategory of Ichijime shibori. That got twisted. But you will be making about 3 yards in smaller cuts because you'll want to do a lot of different types of color combinations. Now, what the snowflower refers to, we're going to learn the folds. There's 3 basic folds. We're going to use a combination. Let's see, what did I do with it? Of acrylic templates. Can you see that? I've got 2 templates there, and we're going to use these clamps. They're on your supply list, and you'll be using 4-inch and 6-inch. I'm going to supply you with a great collection of resist templates. These acrylic guys you can use again and again and again. And you'll want to, because every time you open one of these up, it's like Christmas morning, and you go,
Mhm.
oh, if I just move that template a little bit or switch templates with a different fold, you're literally putting your own twist to shibori. And the snow flowers are the color collisions at the junctures of the fold. So we'll be again mixing and playing with color, merging colors, and having a good time with this one. This one produces a lot of fun results. And everybody comes up with something different because y'all are twisting and folding just a little bit differently. The last class is probably my most popular class. We're not going to be doing jumbo ice-dyed mandalas, but we are going to be doing mini ice-dyed mandalas. And this is such a fun class. I will teach you all of my tricks, all of my tips, and I am going to give you all the fabric, a rainbow full of dye to select from, and you're going to have a good time. We're going to ice dye, and you're going to make 9 different 22-inch by 22-inch mandalas. So a little more than a fat quarter. I'm nothing if I'm not generous with fabric. And we'll be picking from a very fun collection of colors. I'm going to teach you a step-by-step build a skill program that will have you dye in fabric just like I do in no time at all. So that's my lineup, and I'm very excited. Can you tell?
I'm excited. I want to take all your classes.
You're welcome, Liz. Are there any questions from anybody?
I don't
Well,
see anything in the chat.
I'm going to stick around. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you. There's always a question about the bins,
Yes.
and I wanted to just show you the bin size. This is, I get them at Walmart or Target. They're about 27 inches, about 6 inches deep,
Okay.
and about 16 inches wide.
And
So
everybody needs to bring one per class.
it's on your supply list.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
And everything else is included then.
Oh, yeah. Just like with anything, Liz, with any kind of sewing project, different tools yield different results. So you buy
Okay.
different rulers for different patterns, right?
Yeah.
And there are different tools involved with different dye techniques. And I like a level playing field. Everybody's going to be working with the same tools, the same fabric. I want you all to have as much fun as I have and get as good results. So when I can give you everything, we're going to work timely. We're all using the same tool at the same time. Our workspace isn't going to turn into a dye catastrophe. We're going to have quick and easy cleanup, and you're going to want to do it again.
And we'll get to
Sorry.
take home some of the supplies, right? Like some of the tools.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
you keep
question.
all the tools. You keep all the tools because warning, I'm just a little addictive. Once you get your hands in the dye pot, you pretty much want to keep doing it. It's very fulfilling. When I hold up this little quilt, I dyed every piece of fabric that went in this quilt.
Hmm.
It's pretty fulfilling and something fun to add to your creative repertoire.
For
All
sure.
these techniques are completely replicable at home then, afterwards.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, I think I did the Minnesota Guild via Zoom. I think we did a class via Zoom during the pandemic. So uh, I I teach you how to do it in about 3 square feet. Teach you how to work timely, effectively. I kept, I've been doing this since 8th grade, y'all, and I kept all of my mistakes out of your class, out of your kid. I learned the hard lessons for you so you can benefit from my years of experience.
That sounds great. So we just really need to show up in old clothes or bring an apron or something.
Yeah, and really, a good chunk of each day is spent in fabric preparation.
Okay.
And so the dye comes out right at the end of class, usually the last hour, hour and a half. And yeah, I like to throw an apron on. I'm wearing my apron today.
Hmm.
And some people just bring a garbage bag and wrap it around with add a little color to your Levi's, right?
Yeah.
The studio at the Paramount is set up perfectly for this as well. So it's obviously a lot easier than if you were doing it in a convention center because they've got a proper dyeing room studio there. So it's a really good spot to do it in.
I'm excited. Anytime I have my own classroom and don't have to clean up for somebody who's going to come in with white fabric after, and do some sewing afterwards. We're going to make a dye studio. We're going to have some fun. And I estimate, let's see, I'm going to say we're going to dye 500 yards in 3 days in that class.
Wow. So are you bringing all that with you or are you shipping it?
Some of each,
Okay,
some of each. I don't ever
great.
ship my samples or my quilts. Uh, I like to fly with the fabric, but it's
Okay.
heavy.
Hmm.
And Liz, you and I'll talk about where I'm shipping.
Okay. Yes. Yes. No, we're all set
We'll
up to have
we'll
received
take
it.
care of all of those details, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Great. Thank you, Cindy. I don't see any questions in the chat. Does anyone want to pipe up with a question? If not, we'll move on to Eileen.
Okay, am I
You're,
actually I think I'm talking, right?
yeah,
You
you're
can hear me?
spotlighted. Sure. There you go.
Okay. All right. I am very excited to be teaching in Minnesota this year. I've vended at the Quilt Show for a number of different years and have been, oh, it's probably been at least 10 or 12 years that I've been there off and on. So Minnesota's close. I love the people in Minnesota and I'm excited to be teaching. I am going to be teaching fall leaves. And I don't know how well you can see, but I have 7 different leaf patterns, and we are going to work with which you can work with whichever pattern you want. And I have probably 30 or 40 different kits, and the kits, the leaf and the background are hand dyed. They're not, multicolored hand dyed. They're more solids because that works better with leaves. But I love the texture of the hand dyes. And just to give you a little closer look, we are going to learn to applique the leaf and the black onto the background. We are going to learn satin stitching on top. We are going to learn the ziggy-zaggy quilting around the leaf. We are going to sew it all together and add foiling. Foiling is a lot of fun, and you can use foils in many quilts just to give a pop of shine. I love glitter. And then we're going to talk about beading and quilting because I put beads. This is quilted with a very easy circular pebbles look that is very hard to mess up. And then you can put beads in the center of them. I don't know how well you can see all of that. There's a better
Oh, yes, that
picture of
shows
the
up now.
beads. And the ziggy-zaggy quilting and the vein lines.
Mhm.
And then, of
So a
course,
machine will be required.
what?
A machine is required.
Yes, you will have to have a machine that zigzags and that has an open toe foot
Okay.
because you need the zigzag for the quilting and the open toe foot for the satin stitching. But I don't know if you can see, but you see how that's skinny back here and then it gets bigger. We are
Yes.
going to do that, go from skinny to big by our machine so that it's all one smooth stitch,
Mhm.
which is kind of fun. The other thing we're going to make in class is this fun copper wire hanger. And everybody's going to sit there and we're all going to make one, even if you don't feel you can. It's interesting. Everybody curls them slightly different. There's no right or wrong. It's a copper hanger. So that makes it fun to learn a new way you can finish off your quilts. And it's just a decorative hanger. It actually has a couple of small pieces of copper that are on the top, and those are what you can actually hang it with. I don't know if you can see those there, because it's kind of hard to put a nail that's big enough for the copper in your walls. Husbands don't like that. So I have kits. I have a variety of colors. This is the leaf color. This is the background color. And then that black shadow behind the leaf. And then the border. But everything you need, the thread for the vein lines, the beads, the copper foil, stabilizer, fusible, everything you need for the kit or for the top of this project is in your kit. And you can choose what you want. What we don't have is batting, backing, and black thread. And those are pretty easy to come by. And we probably won't need the batting and backing. Depending on how far you get, you won't be doing the actual quilting during class. And I am very flexible. I have a supply list that you can bring all of your own fabrics. You may or may not have copper foil, or beads. I can bring those. You can buy those from me in the class if you bring your own. So, and if you say, oh, I just hate that color of green thread, I will tell you this is a $4 thread. If you want an $8 thread, you can look through all of them and we'll exchange it for the difference. So it makes it very easy to get what you want. And the same with the beads and the foil. It's all very individual because not all of us like the same thing. It's just amazing, isn't it, how that works? So I have a lot of options. I have some bright colors. because
Wow.
some of us like brights. I do some purples because some women love purple leaves. And why can't a leaf be purple or pink or orange or green or gold? I mean, they can be any color you like. So I bring a lot of kits to give you a lot of variety. And I do sell off, things that you might have forgotten. I will try to bring everything, and I will have a booth. So if it's not in the room, I will have it in the booth, probably, hopefully, whatever you need. um, and I think that's about all I have to share about my class and what you'll be learning at it. I don't know how long I took up, probably not enough time, but
Oh, no, that's fine because you're only teaching one class. That's perfect.
yes.
I
Okay.
have a
It
I have a
looks like great
question.
fun.
Yes.
Um, my question is, what sort of skill level do you need to be to take your class? Is this something a confident beginner could do, or do you need to be a little bit more advanced than that? Because you've got a lot of techniques there that you're teaching.
Thank you. That's a great question. The actual applique and sewing are very easy. And the ziggy zaggy quilting, once you do it, you'll say, oh, this is easy. The thing that's the most difficult is the satin stitching vein lines. And we can teach through that. So beginners are more than welcome. It's kind
Right.
of an art class that's teaching you how to be a little more creative because you can use all of these techniques later when you're at home on other projects. So
Mhm.
if you think I'd love to be an art quilter and you've never tried it yet, this is a great beginner class. Any other questions?
I don't see any in the chat. Thanks very much, Eileen.
You're welcome.
Looks like a lot of fun. And
It
now I'll turn it
is.
over to Gwen.
All done. I think I'm unmuted. Am I
There you
unmuted?
go. Yep.
You
Okay,
are.
excellent. So yes, I am Gwen Hanvy and I'm from central Minnesota. I apologize. I'm on the end of a horrible cold, but I'm on the back end of it, so I'm happy about that.
Mhm.
I will be doing two classes, both on Friday. One will be a 1 hour lecture, and it will be stretches for stitchers. So I will be incorporating stretches for you to incorporate into your sewing room. It's very important as sewers to get up and stretch, or just even to sit in our chair and stretch. So I am looking forward to showing you those. It will be an active class. We will be sitting in our chairs and also standing, and you will always only be having to do what you can do. So some stretches might work for you and some might not, but you could always modify it to meet your needs. I begin with this class based on having taken the Yoga Alliance training of 200 hours years ago and continue to teach to adults. And I was also a high school English teacher. And so I would incorporate into my classroom as well. And there would be many days where students would go, Mrs. Hamby, we need to stretch today. And it would be amazing how much more they could focus when we took maybe 5 or 10 minutes just to do some breathing and do some stretching. And so students will leave the hour of lecture more relaxed and hopefully taking some tips with them into their sewing cave, so they too will learn how to have shoulders that don't get all tight, necks that are able to flow for a little bit more, and just strengthen our backs and legs. So that would be my first lecture. And then I will be teaching one of my favorite things to do, EPP, or English paper piecing. It's a very portable thing that you can do. And I got into it as a high school English teacher because when I got home at the end of the day, I probably had some essays to grade and I might have a lesson to get ready for the next day. But I also wanted to do some things with my fabric. I also wanted to be with my husband and do some talking time with him. So I found that I could do this portable project of English paper piecing. And what English paper piecing is you take a piece of template and you cut out, very good there. And then you cut it and fold it around a paper template. What's great about this is because it is so portable that you can have your little kit and travel with it. So I was able to complete a lot of quilts while I was judging at speech meet and coaching students at speech meets. So the purpose of my fussy cutting is going one step beyond just the basic English paper piecing, so that you can take a piece of fabric that's very fun and cute and turn it into several different new shapes. So out of that fabric I just showed, all of these shapes are in that fabric. And so you start to get really creative, and you can even just take a plain fabric like this and turn it into an object like this. So you can take your little Valentine gnomes and turn them into a cute little hexagon flower.
So cute.
It's just fun playing with fabric. You start to look at fabric in a whole new way. And yes, your fabric will look like Swiss cheese. But even when we make a traditional quilt, we always have leftover pieces. So I figure it balances out whether it's English paper piecing or traditional quilting. So the fabric that I just showed you, that Swiss cheese, this is what was created out of that, using the different motifs in the
Very
fabric.
pretty.
And this is really a fun one that I like to show to people. The center of this, because as I say, you always look at fabric in a new way. If anybody can see what those are actually champagne glasses and bottles. So it's really fun to play with the different fabrics. One of my bigger quilts is one that everything was fussy cut out of, including owls, and creating a whole pattern. So I find it very relaxing, very portable. I will teach you the basics and some good tips on how to not have your needle come off the thread. We will use a very fine thread that will be included in your kit. We will use a smaller needle. We will use a glue pen, and that will be all included with your kit. So the hardest thing for students coming to my class is they need to bring at least a half a yard of fabric to so they can cut it up and have motifs that are about an inch in size. And then they also need a 2-inch square for the middle of their completed grandmother's flower when they're done with the class. So questions, like I say, I find it portable. I take my little bag, we head out the door, I grab my bag, and it also creates a memory of different places I've been while I've been working on my portable projects. So I can look at a quilt and think, well, I was there when I made this block, or we were here when I made this block. And so it kind of helps create a little memory for you with your portable project. I also like time in my quilt cave, but didn't always have time to be at my sewing machine. So then I could go in and kit up one of these and just cut out a little rosette and have it ready to go in my travel bag. So I'm looking forward to once again being part of the Minnesota Quilt Show. They're always wonderful time there and meet new people, and look forward to seeing people I've met in the past. Do you have questions?
Not a question, but a comment. I've had quite a few people who are coming to the show from further away who've said to me they don't want to pack up their machine because they're coming on a coach or by car. This would be just the perfect class for those types of people because they could pack the yard of fabric or the half yard of fabric in their bag and nothing really else needed to bring. So it would be perfect for people in that situation.
It'll be absolutely perfect. And if they don't have fabric, they can always go buy some off the floor. So it's a
Mhm.
win-win.
Very true. There'll be ample opportunity to buy fabric.
Right. No,
Yes.
no shortage of that.
So, I mean, they do need to bring a scissor, and that's again in the supply list. What they need
Mhm.
is just minimal items, because otherwise they get pretty much everything they need in the kit to make their own little flower.
But no heavy machines to cart around.
No heavy machines. Nope, you don't have to thread a bobbin. You don't have to thread a needle. Well, on your machine,
You,
on by hand, you will have to, but not worrying about it on your sewing machine. So it's very relaxing, and like everyone else is commenting, it gets to be pretty addictive because you never know when you start cutting out a shape and then you start putting the six shapes together, what it's actually going to come out to. So I like the surprise element of that as well.
I'm guessing it's a really good way to use up strange little scraps of fabric that you have no idea what else you'd use them for as well.
It is absolutely a perfect way to use up little scraps of fabric. And a lot of times I make a little rug mug out of them and gift them to people. And so
Mhm.
it's another fun way to continue using your scraps and make somebody's day.
That large sample you showed us, the full-size quilt, how
Yes,
big is that?
it's big. It's like bigger than lap size.
Oh
It's
my
the La
goodness.
Pascalia.
It is Lapiscalia. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is.
wow. You did
Yeah,
all of
it
that by
is.
hand. Beautiful.
Can you scare
Yep.
us by telling us how many hours it took you to make that? You estimate?
How about years?
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, you break it down into a rosette. And then, I mean, I did work on it, I think about 4 years, but off and on, because I would go
Uh-huh.
in stages where I'm just really hammering out and playing with the different rosettes. And again, the colors, I just let myself go free with colors too, because as you say, some pattern material, you just don't know what it's going to be. And I don't know if I can get far enough back to get a whole shot of it, but it's big.
Oh, it's stunning.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one. The pattern called for you to actually cut off and the outer edge.
Oh, no.
Exactly. I'm like, there's no way I'm cutting off these little buggers. But so then again, I incorporated um things on the border
Well, that was a great
to,
idea. Oh, it's
yeah,
beautiful.
so but yeah, no, I was not going to cut off those points after because they were buggers.
I
And
bet.
it is all hand quilted as well. So I will have this at the show if you want a closer look. I'll have it in my classroom with me. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I'm pretty
great.
proud of this one. It's fun. It was fun. I never swore at it once.
That was good
As
of you.
opposed to others.
Cool.
So thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Gwen?
Or any of the other teachers. You have a quiet group of participants tonight.
It's all right, Liz, we can talk for everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Hmm.
So if nobody has any further questions, that looks like that might be the end of our fourth and final Meet the Teacher session. Just to remind everybody that all of these sessions will be put on YouTube so that they can be viewed at your viewing pleasure. And hopefully there are lots of different offerings there and some things that you'd like to sign up for.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Cindy,
Thanks for the
Gwen, and
invite.
also Eileen.
Yeah. And if anyone thinks of a question, they can always send it to faculty@mnquilt.org and I'll make sure I get it to the teacher.
Thank you. I'm signing
Thanks.
off now.
Have a great night,
Bye.
everyone.
Yes. Yep. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Well, that was a good group.